I'm coming. I swear. I'm here. Hello. What's up, guys? How we doing? So, what selling on TCG Player for these past 4.5 years, 5 years have taught me? Taught me a lot. Well, first, let's start off the video by showing some beautiful personal collection stuff that I picked up, that I got graded myself. Not Magic, not Pokemon. WWE. We got a first off the line. This got a 10, Blue Shimmer. Lola Vice. Hell yeah. And we got a Stone Cold Immaculate out of 10. Hell yeah. That got an 8, but whatever. Those big cards are tough to grade. So, what selling on TCG Player for these past 5 years have taught me? Well, it taught me a lot of shit. It taught me, like, I'm so jealous of the people just starting out. I really am. I'm envious of the entire process that you get to start where you want. Like, you get to put your inventory the way you want it. You get to... It's just so much more control because you're entering everything in manually. You're learning the process. And that's something that I love, is just to learn the process and learn how it works. Learning is like, I love that part of the whole thing. Now I'm like so jaded. Like, I'm just doing it because I have to do it. We have to sell cards on TCG Player. I'm so envious of just getting started. It's a beautiful thing, and you have just so much ahead of you, and it's great. Every sale feels great when you're first getting started. I remember my first sale. I forgot what card it was, but I was sitting out to eat with my wife, and which was, I guess, my fiance at the time. Yeah. And I remember selling the one card. It was like $6 or something like that, and I was just like, oh my god, it just felt great. Every sale feels tangible, and it feels like, oh my god, this is a crazily scalable business, and I'm just getting started. This is amazing. And you could like track everything so much better because like your inventory is so much smaller, and like figuring out your profit margin is so much easier when you have such a smaller inventory, because you know how much you paid for that one single card. You know what I mean? You know how much you paid for that. You know how much you paid for this, that, and the other thing. Once you get into like hundreds of thousands of cards, millions of cards, it gets a little convoluted. You get a little lost in the weeds. It becomes more of a year-over-year, quarter-over-quarter thing than, simply transactional, which a lot of, people just starting out in business are. Everything's so transactional that, like, this one sale, did I make money or did I lose money? And, it becomes more fluid, more like year-over-year. So every individual sale, you don't necessarily track that individual sale as a profit or loss. It becomes a whole, whatever, year-over-year thing. Also, like, not worrying about making money at the start, because most people starting out, it's a hobby for them. Just like, collecting cards is a hobby for a lot of people, just like playing the game is a hobby for a lot of people. I transitioned from playing the game to selling cards. Playing the game was my hobby, and then I turned the hobby into selling cards. Now selling cards became my hobby. Now the people that play the game only and don't sell cards, they don't like the people that just sell cards and don't play as a hobby. But now, how is your hobby different from their hobby? It's not. It's just a different aspect of the hobby. And everyone needs to coexist together in order for a healthy market to actually work, which a lot of people don't understand. And like reinvesting into like tools for your business, that was such a huge thing when I first got started. Like, I remember buying my first like actual thing for the TCG player side of the business. It was like a 6-tier rack, and I was just like, oh my god, all the money I made this past like 4 or 5 weeks, I reinvested into this. Look, now I have this, and it's gonna make everything a lot easier, a lot faster, and I'm gonna be able to make more money because I got this item. And just doing that over and over and over again, it feels better and better and better each time you do it. And, like everyone, like I said at the beginning, is so transactional when you first start. You have to stop that once you get to a certain point. I'd say once you get to like over like 50 to 70,000 cards in your inventory, over over a bunch of sets, different card games, you have to stop being so transactional. Like, you look at a card, this card is only selling for 5 cents, so that's what I'm going to list it at. This card's only worth a penny, that's what I'm going to list it at. Stop doing that. Create a price floor, stick with it. I upped mine. It used to be 15 cents, now it's 20 cents. So, like, it doesn't matter if a card's a penny. I'm listing it for 20 cents. As your inventory gets larger and larger, inherently, your inventory becomes more valuable just because the sheer variety of it. Yeah, someone's going to be looking for one card, and they want to spend 5 cents on it, and they want to spend $1.99 in shipping. Yeah, you're going to get that. There's going to be those people. But there's also going to be a wide variety of people who are building a deck or a collection or a set, and they want to get every single card. And you're going to have them because you're not going to be blowing out your inventory at a penny and, like losing money on majority of your sales because you're selling it at a fucking penny. You're going to have the inventory for that specific person, and they're going to buy from you. All cards will eventually sell. Some cards will take a very long time to sell. I remember when I first opened, I opened these Pioneer decks. I forget were they Pioneer decks? I forget. But I had these cards in my inventory for 2 years almost. And someone just recently bought every single copy of this one card. I forgot what it was. But I was like, wow, when did I open this? Like a year ago. And it was like a $70 sale. Why? Because I had them priced a little higher, above the market. But I had 500 fucking copies. So, someone came in and bought all of them. But I already made money off of that back when I originally opened it. That was when I kind of first started. Was it Pioneer? I forget what it was. It was something. And I was like, holy shit. Like, I've made money off that when I originally opened it. So now this is like, you can't, that's why you can't calculate your profits so transactionally. Because it's going to take a long time for certain things to sell. Certain things are going to sell really quickly. That's how business works. I can't explain it to you any clearer. You're not going to turn over your inventory every single week. That would be insane. You'd be the biggest company in the fucking world if you could turn over your inventory every week or overnight. So stop. Enough. Like, a good business, online business, will turn over their inventory maybe, I think it's 2 or 3 times a year. So, yeah, that's how it works. It's going to take time for things to sell. It doesn't need to happen overnight. So stop pricing and acting like it has to happen overnight. Now, the people that are like just starting out now, like right this second, like watching this video, you're just starting out. You're a level 1 seller. How the hell do I get sales? That's kind of like, that's the flaw, one of the flaws with TCG Player. I get what they do. They want to, vet the sellers, see, work into it, because the cards are expensive. You don't want anyone like ripping off a bunch of people for thousands of dollars, and then have to refund. I get it, but it kind of like starting someone off only listing a certain amount of cards, very small amount. It makes people almost have to price their cards very, very, very low to get sales in order to get to level 4. And they don't see the strategy once you hit level 4. They kind of stay at that level 1 seller mindset of selling everything for a freaking penny. Because I got to get the sale. I got to get to level 4. I got to make these sales. I get it. Sales get addicting when you get them. It feels good. But if you're not making money on it, then what's it matter? So, I don't know. I think one thing that TCG Player could change with that level 1, level 4, being able to list things. I think it needs to change. The core of TCG Player does need to change. They need to set a price floor for certain things. Like, there's in no way, shape, or form in anyone's business model selling something for a penny and fulfilling the sale makes money. I don't care if it's on TCG Player Direct and I make a sale, but TCG Player still needs to fulfill that order. So I don't know what we're doing here, selling things for pennies or a penny, and guys at TCG Player are going to fulfill that penny order. And it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for anyone involved, TCG Player included. So something like Buy Sports Cards does, it's like everything. It's 25 cents, and you have to do I think it's a $5 order for even to do an order. They should implement something like that. Maybe not as high as $5, maybe $2. A minimum order, especially TCG Player Direct. I get like there's a subscription fee that you pay, but it doesn't. I don't think it'll work for longevity of everyone involved. And just like setting up your inventory right. What selling for these past 4-5 years has taught me is I've rearranged my inventory like 12 different times. Stick to what you're going to do. If you're not going to be a TCG Player Direct seller, you don't need to organize your inventory like TCG Player Direct. We do because it's the easiest to pull when we have to fulfill our inventory back to TCG Player. But if I wasn't ever going to do TCG Player Direct, I wouldn't arrange my inventory like this at all. It would be completely different. I get it. This is meant for. Also, if I wasn't doing TCG Player Direct, I wouldn't be doing like huge, massive openings of product. I wouldn't be doing that. Just because it just wouldn't make sense. I would be buying bulk and setting up my inventory the way I want it, the way it'll work for me, not TCG Player. Another thing that selling for the past 5 years on this platform has taught me is people don't know their addresses at all. Like every day I get 2 or 3 messages from people saying, "Oh, my address is wrong. Could you change this? Oh, my address is wrong. It's my old address." And me as a buyer on TCG Player, I see why it happens. There's a granted, some of them it's the people that order the cards. They're the problem. But it's also the platform itself. I have went in and tried to change my address. I only wanted to go to one address. I delete it, save it, log out, go back in. It's back and set to my primary address, my house address. And I'm like, no, I don't want that. I want it to go to my warehouse when I order cards. Do it again, delete it, save it, go back, boom. It's back again. Every time it's my default. No matter how many times I delete it, save it, it goes back to my default address as my house. I don't know why. I think TCG Player needs to look at that because we get... It's probably, I would say, 20 to 30 minutes a day I have to spend on just responding to messages on TCG Player about people missing their addresses, and I have to print out their invoice. Now that order takes special treatment because I have to print out their invoice. Then I have to change their address. I have to put a label on it. It just takes time, and I believe it's with the platform itself and not with buyers. Sure, it's a lot of the time it's with the buyers, but it's also the platform itself. And I don't know how to change that or get it changed, but I know I change my default address, save it. I go onto a different computer to order cards on my phone. It's back to my house address. I don't know why. I mean, another thing that selling these past 5 years has taught me is if you have deep stock on any card, there is no reason why you should be matching the lowest price listed on the platform. Anything more than a playset, you should match the other people with playsets, because people like me and other larger sellers, I'm talking to the people just starting out. If you have a playset of any card, you don't want to match the lowest person listed. You want to, this is a new feature now on TCG Player, you want to look for other sellers with 4 or more copies of that card, and you want to, match their price. Because there's no reason why you, the person with 4 copies, should be matching the person with 1 copy. Because it's going to take more time. It's going to get bought up instantly, in other words. So you're leaving money on the table. Your 4 copies are worth more than that guy who's got 1 copy. So you got to rethink things sometimes. I know, we all make mistakes sometimes. It happens. I mean, me too. There's been times when I've sold cards for a half of its value. It happens. But these are just tips that I've learned throughout my years of selling. Your cards are worth more if you have more of them. I know it sounds crazy, talking to like a person who plays just Commander. All I need is 1 copy. What do I need another copy for? There's other people that play other formats and other games, and this isn't just for Magic, it's for everything. So the takeaway of this video is start a process, stick with it. If you want to sell on TCG Player Direct, that's your goal. Figure out how to, set up your inventory in a way that it's suitable for Direct. If you don't want to ever sell on Direct, and I don't recommend a smaller seller that's doing it as a hobby to do Direct. I don't recommend it. Because it's very quick, it's fast, and it's meant for big business. It's meant for a business that's going to do this, and it's going to be a key role in their business. It's very fast pace, and it's all the time. Like you'll have work all the time. If you want to do this as a hobby, and maybe in the future translate it into a business, set it up, set your inventory up as TCG Player Direct. But even just starting out, I don't recommend people getting into Direct for, you got to sell for a few years, because it's going to be too quick, too fast, overwhelming, and you're going to be scrambling to try and get inventory, overpaying for shit and losing money. Because just to feed the beast. Just to feed cards into TCG Player Direct. Because you're going to be worried about getting kicked out. You're going to be worried about a lot of things. So stick to just selling cards yourself. Self-fulfilled, non-direct, and have fun with it. And in a few years, if and when you do want to go to Direct, you'll have a very large history of selling, and it won't be a problem. You won't have to worry about not getting approved, because you'll be like, I've had the metrics for a year to get approved as a direct seller. So it's not a problem. You won't have to worry about getting the numbers. And another thing is most people that I could just tell. I tell from my Patreon as well. I'll get someone super eager. They'll join. They'll, order a bunch of stuff from me. They'll be a patron for about 6 or 7, 8 months. And then I'll get an email from them. Here's a list of my inventory. I don't want to do this anymore. I got, T-shirt by Direct, and, it's taking too much of my time, and I can't do my regular job and this because it's a lot. So here, I want to sell my stuff. And 9 times out of 10, I don't buy it just because 9 times out of 10, they've sold through all the cards, and it's primarily, bulk stuff. So I'm just like, I can't do anything with that, right? Yeah. Most people lack the longevity in this because it's hard work, just like any business. And for people to, be like, oh, you don't do that. It's hard work. Yeah. Work is hard. I don't get, I'm so confused by that. Everyone's complains that working is hard. Yeah, it is. That's work. It's not supposed to be easy. If it was easy, everyone would do it. I'm so confused by that. It baffles my fucking mind, the stupidity of people. When they, what the heck? It's too hard. It's all got too hard. It's hard. It's because yeah, it's supposed to be hard. Figure it out. I don't get. It's crazy to me. But I don't know. That's what I've learned these past 5 years. I knew from when I first started selling that I wanted to do direct, just because I came from Amazon. I did FBA, and I like that whole side of things. I like to have my inventory sell really fast. I like to do quick turnover, and it's okay to hang on to the things that aren't going to flip really quickly to sell in my store, to have the deck building things for people to have. So that's why we do a price floor, is because if you didn't, you'd have these 5,000 to 10,000 card return invoices, and the grand total of those 10,000 card return invoices is $40, and you're like, well, what the hell? It's gonna take me 4 hours to do this, and I'm making $40. So no, you keep it. You set a price floor, and over time, you'll do a $2 sale here, a $5 sale here, a $4 sale here. The big business, the big money being made in any business is made on the very, very small purchased items, the $5, the $2, that you have a 1,000% return on your investment from, because your money was already made back on the bigger stuff. So now every ones and twosies you sell, that's complete 100% profit. It's all money in your pocket. So you don't. When I get a $3 sale and it's all things at my price floor, I'm like, because I know that sale is 100% profit for the business. I don't have to worry about it because I know that I made majority of my money back, if not all, selling all the bigger stuff. I don't know. I'm just rambling now. Thunder Junction. I was just about to say Thunder Junction's going to go out soon. Jesus, I'm like 5 sets behind. What is this set? Bloomborough? What set is this? Duskmorn. Jesus Christ. It's going to go out soon. We got our second shipment from PhD coming Tuesday, I think. I could have got it earlier, but I was just like, I'll deal with that later. So that's coming Tuesday. These will end up, going out for Friday. But got a lot of work ahead of me. So this complete palette and pallet and a half is 100% ordered. The stuff I have coming from PhD, that's like the stuff for the store and stuff I'm gonna, open. So, yeah, I think this set's gonna perform really well. I think initially it might not, but these collector booster exclusive cards, these like, they're beautiful. Just like Thunder Junction. I mean, let me show you. Let me show you. Like, look at this. Tell me this isn't like a fucking nutso card. Look at this. Sword of Well. Look at the raised. Oh my god, are you kidding me right now? These, I believe, to be so undervalued right now. We opened Thunder Junction. We opened 200 collector boosters. I got one of these. One Sword of Wealth and Power. Look at this freaking. Are you kidding me right now? I think they're undervalued. Just like with the Nazguls. I just sold one for $30 from the poster foil. They're like over $100 now. It's crazy. Why? Because the booster box is now $1,000, and everyone's like, I gotta have it. I need it. I need those Nazguls. Let me get them. Because the boxes are $1,000. Meanwhile, they sat on the market for frickin' 6 months. How many? Almost a year. Jesus Christ. They sat on the market for over a year. Everyone's like, why would I get that when I can get the $8 one? Now everyone's like, I gotta get them. Because now they're $100. It's crazy, man. And it all comes down to people want what they can't have. And when they can have it, they don't want it. So, in the end, just do what you want to do. Don't listen to the noise, and it'll all work out, man. It'll all work out. That's it from me. I'll see you later. Bye.